Coach, let's just talk about Wednesday's pretty gritty win in Toronto. After looking back at the tape, what were kind of your keys to getting that victory?
Yeah, I thought we did a lot of good things. The OZP was really good, and I thought we did a good job protecting Millie Ice, and really I felt that we controlled the pace of the game really up till the Sabourin penalty, and things certainly took a turn with that final 10 minutes being, some penalty killing and some block shots needed and some big saves by Bibo. So other than that, we really liked the game, and power play struggled a little bit, if you're really critiquing all areas of the game, but for the most part, we did a good job.
And I know your team is around the 500 mark, not quite where you'd like to be, but it seems like the division is kind of like that, almost from just below Toronto down. How much confidence do you gain from a win like that in terms of how competitive you are in this division despite the record?
Yeah, it's, any team can beat anybody on any given night, and, obviously Toronto and that is our biggest rivalry, and for them to be really the class of the division so far, 2-2 now, and 8 more battles with them. But for us right now, we're just trying to focus on ourselves and taking it one day at a time. And hopefully, come 23, we'll have a full lineup and see exactly what our team can do. Because you're going to need stretches of 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and we have not been able to do that yet. But at the same time, we've been competitive every night, except for really that Rockford game. We've been in every game, and there's been a lot of moving parts within the roster, but certainly a testament to the character of the guys, and the compete is there every night, and that's really all you can ask for.
One of the big moments on Wednesday was Victor Lodin leaving the game with an injury. What's the update on him? And now that you've had a chance to look at the hit, how did you feel about the play?
Well, we did send it in to the league. We felt it was a blind side, and Vic has got an upper body injury, and anytime those hits to the head are never good, and not as much as you want physicality and you want hard play. There's no real place in the game for those type of hits, and the NHL and the American League have done a good job of cracking down on those type of things. So, Vic, from our perspective, obviously is a big part of our team, and is going to be out for, I guess what we would list him week to week right now. So hopefully it's on the shorter end, and it feels bad for him because it just seems like one thing after the other with the injuries for him, and he's just having a hard time getting on track. But scored a nice goal the other night. I thought he was very, very good, and one of our best players the other night. So big loss for us, and hopefully it's more of a short-term thing.
Jack Doherty returned to the Senators and played his typical, I'll say, unorthodox style of defense at times. How did you feel about JD's first game back?
Yeah, I thought maybe the pace early, but that's certainly understandable when anybody comes up from the ECHL. There's going to be an adjustment, and I thought his game got better from start to finish. And Bellsy had him out, with 5-on-6 with the goalie out. He was doing his thing, and you can't. The intangibles that JD brings to the table is great. His teammates love him, and fourth go round. So he's beat Castles as the 4th time with the organization, and it is a game-to-game, week-to-week thing with JD right now. But you can tell fit in real nicely, and was a big part of the penalty kill, and that was why we brought him back.
Nick Albano didn't play the other night, but has signed a 2-way AHL deal with the club. Is that kind of a reward for him, given how he's filled in over the 11 games or so that he played?
Yeah, absolutely, and he's done a nice job. And Bellsy and I met with him when JD returned, and because that ultimately took his spot and in the lineup, and he was rewarded because we like his puck moving ability. He's a good teammate, very coachable, and you can never have too many defensemen, as we've already seen this year in 22 games. So he'll get another opportunity. He didn't come out of the lineup because of his play. It was just we needed to kind of restructure our defense in terms of not having Heater and not having Bernard Docker and those guys, Rubens, Aspero, those 4 guys are mainstays on a penalty killing unit, and JD's done a fabulous job over his 3 years with us in that role. So that's kind of why Albano was taken out, but I'm sure he'll get an opportunity here to come soon.
Moving further back to the crease, you mentioned the play of Antoine Bibeau, and you can't ignore the difference he's made for this team lately. Did his play factor into the decision to send Kevin Mandolese to Allen?
Yeah, absolutely. It was time to, not ideal to carry 3 goalies, sometimes 4, but with the way the goaltending department has had their issues this year, wow.
The boys are having fun this morning, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Biebs has been a pleasant surprise this year. Signed to be the number 5 guy and has been pressed into a lot of number 1 role. And again, the other night, I thought that last 10 minutes he made 3 or 4 great saves to allow us to win the hockey game, and that's what you want from your goaltender. So, good veteran guy. The players work hard for him in front of him, and a little bit of a reward. And when it comes to Mandolese, he's got to get his game back on track. I mean, the numbers don't lie, and he's had some injuries as well, but there was opportunity for him to run with the starting role, and he didn't take advantage of it, unfortunately, and he needs to play games, and especially with Sogard back now. We got to get Sogi back, and we got to get Sogard into rhythm, because I think it'll be very, very difficult to make playoffs without Sogard playing a good chunk of these games here in the second half.
So with that in mind, what's the goaltending plan for the weekend?
Well, tonight Sogard's returning, so he's going to get the start tonight. Now, can he go back-to-back? I guess it's a possibility, but in saying this is only really his 3rd start, I guess 4th start if you want to include the game number 1 here, but he only lasted 5 minutes. So besides the Milwaukee start and the Toronto start, this is really, he hasn't played a lot of hockey. So we'll evaluate the game tonight, post-game, and see what the workload is like, but for at least tonight, he's going tonight, and then we'll see what takes place for tomorrow.
And lastly, obviously the mood is good. Excuse me, around the room. How do you carry that momentum from the midweek win into tonight?
Well, we've got to find a way to get 4 to 6 points this weekend. So it's never easy to beat a team back to back in their building. But for us, we got to be ready to play. And as I said, it doesn't matter if it's the Marlies who are in first place or Laval who's behind us. You got to play and you got to compete, because at the end of the day, any team can win on a given night. So we need to be ready from the start, because this is a difficult building and the crowd's always into it. So it's a fun atmosphere, but you got to be ready.
Thanks, Coach.